This is Ken with VOD TV. We're very privileged to talk to Paul Freude of Paul Bunyan Telephone. Paul is here at the RICA conference. He's a new board member, but a longtime member of RICA. So you're one of the most prolific overbuilders, if you will, or CLECs in the independent industry. Could you tell us a little bit about your motivations for why a 100-year-old cooperative would do such a thing?
Well, we were in the middle of a community that was severely underserved with our headquarters facility. Was located in a Quest community, didn't have any high-speed broadband back in the late 90s. All of our communities were much more progressive, and we saw an opportunity to grow the co-op and bring in some new members and provide some service to our part of the world at the same time. It's worked out pretty well.
Well, the growth numbers are incredible. 250% growth in the last 5-6 years. Is that accurate?
Our incumbent LEC started with about 10,000 lines, and we're currently serving over 25,000. So our CLEC operation is now quite a bit bigger than our ILEC operation.
Well, the other thing that strikes me too, it's very interesting. The rules that, for the most part, that you followed were rules that Congress made in the early to mid 1990s, the Open Video System (OVS) rules. And could you talk a little bit about that? Why you chose to do that?
Convenience, ease of getting into the market timely. The fact that we were serving over 100 jurisdictions, we thought negotiating individual franchises with 100 different jurisdictions was going to be very timely, very expensive, and very awkward to maintain going forward. How do you keep track of when all of these things are due for renewal and what the various terms are in all of these various jurisdictions? So we went down the open video systems route and discovered that most of the communities we were talking with liked that route. Most of the local councilmen, if you will, preferred not to get heavily involved in negotiating video franchises. They didn't know anything about it. They figured they had to hire an attorney. They incur costs to do that. Most said great. We did run into a few exceptions that said, wait a minute, we've got an incumbent provider. We've got to negotiate a franchise with you the same way we did with them. In most cases, we were able to work through those details and get that job done. We did run into a couple of communities that gave us a little trouble and were more difficult negotiators. I think at the end of the day, they were looking for city revenue to increase their tax base dollars that were coming in, but we were able to get through all but one at this point and are operating in 100-plus jurisdictions.
That's incredible. And one of the things you'd mentioned was that RICA, going to the RICA meetings, especially early in the deployment, was very beneficial to you. How do you see RICA being beneficial today?
Well, I think they're trying to get back to that member company involvement, true history. Meetings that provide some input, real life stories, if you will. That's something RICA was very good at in the early days. We came together and shared stories about how things were going in our part of the country and how things were going in different parts of the country, and everybody had a lesson to learn that helped us out a great deal. We've been RICA members almost since inception, and the early meetings were tremendous from that perspective, and I do believe the board is making a conscious decision again today to get back to that quality of meeting, and I think you'll see that here at the fall conference over the next 3 or 4 days, that the session lineup is pretty strong.
Well, Paul, I've always appreciated your sharing your stories with me in the VOD View and VOD TV, so thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.